I will try to get this done as quickly as I can.
Look, please, take your time, do it right, okay? Take your shoes off, we need to get up on the bed.
Look.
One of the most beloved sitcom families of the 90s was secretly living a nightmare. On screen, they were the perfect couple surrounded by loyal friends, making millions of people laugh every week. But behind the scenes, a storm was brewing, one that would tear them apart and end the show forever. So what was the real reason the actors left Martin? The truth is darker than you can imagine. The Dream Team.
Whoa, y'all feel that? Just got real cold in here.
Well, I told you about wearing them holy drawers, boy.
Before the show Martin ever aired, the seeds of its success were planted in real-life friendships. The cast wasn't just a group of actors thrown together by a studio. They were a circle of friends who had worked together, supported each other, and built connections long before they stepped onto the iconic living room set. At the center of it all was a young, explosive talent named Martin Lawrence. Martin wasn't an overnight success. He was born in Germany, where his father was serving in the U.S. Air Force, but his family soon moved to Maryland. After his parents divorced when he was young, his mother worked multiple jobs to support her 6 children. As a teenager, Martin was a talented amateur boxer, even becoming a Mid-Atlantic Golden Gloves contender. He was serious about turning pro until an eye injury made him rethink his future. He decided to try stand-up comedy instead, performing on the Washington, D.C. circuit while working odd jobs to get by. For a short time, he even worked at a Sears call center in Queens, New York, alongside the future hip-hop stars Salt and Peppa and Kid and Play. His big break came in 1986 when he appeared on the TV talent show Star Search. Even though he didn't win, television executives saw his performance and offered him a role on the show What's Happening Now. From there, his star began to rise. He landed a small but memorable part in Spike Lee's groundbreaking film, Do the Right Thing. He then reunited with his old Sears co-workers, Kid and Play, for the hit movies House Party and House Party 2. He also shared the screen with comedy legend Eddie Murphy in the film Boomerang. By 1992, he was hosting the wildly popular HBO series Def Comedy Jam and was ready for his own show. Fox gave him a sitcom and named it after him, Martin. When it came to casting his on-screen girlfriend, Gina Waters, Martin knew exactly who he wanted. He had already worked with a talented young actress named Tisha Campbell in both House Party and Boomerang. He had even made her a promise. Tisha later recalled him telling her that whatever his next big project was, a movie or a TV show, he wanted her to play his wife or girlfriend. He was a man of his word. Martin personally went to Tisha's home to talk to her about the role. She agreed, and the show's central couple was born. That same meeting led to another key piece of the puzzle falling into place. While Martin was at her house, Tisha told him about her best friend, another actress named Tichina Arnold. Tisha and Tichina's friendship was the real deal. They had been best friends since they were just 11 and 12 years old. They had even started their careers together, co-starring in the movie musical Little Shop of Horrors, when Tisha was 17 and Tichina was 16. Before Martin, Tichina had already made a name for herself on daytime television, earning a Daytime Emmy nomination for her work on the soap opera Ryan's Hope, and later appearing on All My Children. On Tisha's recommendation, Tichina came in to audition for the role of Gina's best friend, Pam James. Interestingly, the character of Pam was originally written to be a heavy-set woman, and most of the jokes were about her weight. But Tichina's audition was so good that she booked the role, and the writers completely changed the character to fit her. They rewrote Pam to be the sassy, sharp-tongued nemesis to Martin, and their on-screen insults were inspired by the way Martin and Tichina would joke with each other off-camera. Tichina later said that the main reason she took the part was for the chance to work with her best friend Tisha every day. The group of friends was rounded out by 2 more talented actors. Carl Anthony Payne II was already a familiar face to television audiences. He was famous for playing Walter Cockroach Bradley, the best friend of Theo Huxtable on the massive hit The Cosby Show. He had also appeared in a number of other shows and TV movies, perfecting the role of the loyal, goofy sidekick that he would bring to life as Cole Brown. The final member of the Core Five was Thomas Michael Ford, who played Tommy Strawn. Tommy was the cool, calm, and collected member of the group, often acting as the voice of reason when Martin's schemes went too far. Like the others, Ford was an experienced actor. He had appeared in the Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor film Harlem Nights and the Kid and Play movie Class Act. He brought a smooth, level-headed energy that balanced the wild comedy of the other characters. This was the Dream Team, a cast built not in a cold audition room, but through years of real friendship and shared history. Their chemistry was genuine, and audiences felt it instantly. Martin became one of the highest-rated shows on Fox, a cultural phenomenon that defined 90s television. They were on top of the world, a family forged in friendship and laughter. But what happens when the pressure of fame becomes too much to bear? The answer would be terrifying. First signs of trouble.
I love you.
What?
You ain't say you love me back.
This dream team created magic on screen, but behind the curtain, the weight of a hit show was crushing its star. Martin Lawrence wasn't just the lead actor, he was also an executive producer, and the show carried his name. The pressure was immense, and as his fame exploded, those around him began to see a disturbing change. Tichina Arnold later described how the business began to change him. She said that as Martin became a bigger star, a distance started to grow between him and the rest of the cast. The network, she explained, often treats the main star differently, protecting them while everyone else becomes secondary. She said it was like watching a car crash that you could not stop. You just had to pray for the person involved. The first public sign of this crash came in July 1995. Martin was not only starring in the movie A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, he was also directing it. The stress was enormous. While on set, he reportedly lashed out in a violent rage and had to be hospitalized at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. He later admitted that the pressure of the work became too much, saying he almost died from the experience. Less than a year later, in May 1996, his breakdown became frighteningly public. On a busy afternoon, Martin was found wandering in the middle of Ventura Boulevard, a major intersection in Los Angeles. He was screaming at cars, yelling things like, "They're trying to kill me," and "Fight the power." When police arrived, they found him struggling and yelling like a madman. They also found a loaded handgun in his pants pocket. He was taken to the hospital again. His publicist released a statement claiming the episode was caused by exhaustion and dehydration, but for those who witnessed it, it was clear something was seriously wrong. This was not an isolated incident. The troubles kept coming. Just 2 months later, in July 1996, he was arrested for trying to carry a gun onto an airplane and was given 2 years of probation. The following year, in March 1997, he was arrested again after punching a man in a Hollywood nightclub. His personal life was also in turmoil. During his divorce, his ex-wife accused him of being violent and abusive. The most severe health scare came in 1999. While preparing for his role in Big Mama's House, Martin was jogging in 100-degree heat while wearing heavy clothing and a plastic suit to lose weight. He collapsed from heat exhaustion and fell into a deep coma that lasted for 3 days. His body temperature had reached a near-fatal 107 degrees, and he had to be put on a ventilator to breathe. He later said the experience taught him to value his life and made him realize that there is a God. Martin's public troubles were a terrifying preview of the chaos happening on set. For Tisha Campbell, the woman who played his loving girlfriend, the situation had become unbearable, and she was about to do something that would end the show for good. The lawsuit that ended an era.
Damn! Yo, these your BADs?
Martin, what are BADs?
Big ass drawers.
By the 5th season of Martin, the laughter on set had faded. The friendly, family-like atmosphere was gone, replaced by what one cast member called turmoil. In November 1996, Tisha Campbell, the heart of the show alongside Martin, abruptly left. She cited intolerable working conditions as the reason for her departure. 2 months later, in January 1997, the world found out exactly what that meant. Tisha filed a bombshell lawsuit against Martin Lawrence and the show's producers. The details were shocking and painted a dark picture of what was happening behind the scenes. The lawsuit was not vague. According to magazine reports at the time, Tisha accused Martin of repeated and escalating sexual harassment, sexual battery, verbal abuse, and related threats. The lawsuit claimed that Martin's behavior had become increasingly menacing and volatile. The specific allegations were deeply disturbing. Tisha claimed that Martin would grope her when they filmed scenes in bed together. She alleged that he would attempt to kiss her with his tongue against her will. The lawsuit also described a pattern of verbal abuse, stating that Martin would scream and rage at her and others on set, humiliating her in front of the entire cast and crew. She said that he would threaten people in menacing tones if he did not get his way. The stress from this environment became so severe that Tisha claimed she had to be hospitalized. The lawsuit sent shockwaves through Hollywood and spelled the end for the beloved sitcom. The show's producers, HBO Independent Productions, were now in a difficult position. They had a hit show whose 2 main stars could no longer work together. Carl Anthony Payne II, who played Cole, later said he believed the people at the top knew about the turmoil on set, but ignored it because they were focused on one thing: reaching 100 episodes. That was the magic number needed for the show to be sold into syndication, which would make it incredibly profitable for years to come. In April 1997, the lawsuit was settled out of court, but the damage was done. As part of the settlement, Tisha agreed to return to film the final 2 episodes of the series, but under one strict condition. She would not share any scenes with Martin Lawrence, and they were not allowed to be on the set at the same time. This created what was described as a logistical nightmare for the directors and crew. If you watch the series finale, the tension is obvious. Martin and Gina, the couple whose love story was the foundation of the show, never appear in the same shot together. They interact with their friends, Cole, Pam, and Tommy, but it's like they exist in 2 separate worlds. They seem to play a game of musical chairs with the set, one entering a scene just as the other leaves. It was a strange and sad end to a show that had once been filled with so much joy and chemistry. The family had been completely broken. The show was over, but the story was not. In the years that followed, 2 very different versions of the truth would emerge, and a legal document would keep the full story a secret for decades. Aftermath and a lingering mystery.
I don't even know why you're still here. Step! Step!
After Martin ended in 1997, the cast went their separate ways, and the controversy quietly faded from the headlines. For years, the real story of what happened remained a mystery. Then, in a 2020 interview with GQ magazine, Martin Lawrence finally broke his silence on the lawsuit that ended his show. His version of events was simple and direct. He claimed that the allegations were completely false. He called the lawsuit all a lot of bullshit and said that none of that was true. He also pushed back on the idea that the show was canceled because of the scandal. He insisted that he was the one who decided to end it. "I just decided to walk away from the show," he said. "People said that I got canceled, but that wasn't the case." When asked if he and Tisha ever talked about the lawsuit, he said they did not need to talk about something that just didn't happen. Despite his strong denial, he also said he had nothing but love for Tisha. Days after Martin's interview was published, Tisha Campbell appeared on the show The Talk and gave her side. She said she was shocked to hear his comments. However, she could not give her full story. She explained that there was a confidentiality agreement from the lawsuit settlement. This meant she was under a gag order and was legally not allowed to go into detail about what happened in the past. This gag order is the key to the whole mystery. While Martin was free to publicly deny everything, Tisha was legally silenced, unable to defend herself or share her full experience. She did say that she called Martin after his interview, and he told her not to worry about people trying to bring up the past and that they were in a good place. While that mystery remains, there was one other great mystery from the show that fans debated for years. What was Tommy's job? Throughout the series, the characters constantly joked that Tommy did not have a job, and he would always get defensive about it. The truth is, his job was actually revealed in the very first season, but the writers decided to turn it into a running gag afterward. Thomas Michael Ford himself reportedly made a joke to the writers that his character was underdeveloped and that nobody knew what he did for a living. So, they made it a permanent joke. The answer was simple. Tommy was a youth counselor. In a Christmas episode, he mentioned volunteering for the Big Brothers Association, and in another early episode, he was shown working with students. For nearly 20 years, the cast remained fractured by the past. It would take an unthinkable tragedy to finally bring them back together and begin the long road to forgiveness. A tragic reunion and the path to forgiveness. On October 12, 2016, the world received shocking news. Thomas Michael Ford, the man who played the beloved Tommy, had passed away. He was only 52 years old. He had suffered a ruptured abdominal aneurysm and died in a hospital in the Atlanta area. The news was a devastating blow to his friends, family, and millions of fans. His co-stars were heartbroken. Martin Lawrence, Tisha Campbell, Tichina Arnold, and Carl Anthony Payne II all rushed to the hospital to be by his side as his health declined. After his passing, they came together again for his funeral in Atlanta. It was a somber reunion for a group that had once shared so much laughter. The cast shared emotional tributes to their fallen friend. Martin Lawrence released a statement saying, "Tommy was not only a great co-star, but he was a great man and friend. I am sad the world lost a great talent and that I lost a wonderful friend." He later added that he and Tommy were friends long before the show ever started, and he was glad they got to bring their real friendship to the screen. Tichina Arnold posted a photo of herself with Carl and Martin at the funeral. She wrote, "Today was not easy, but by the grace of God, we all got through it. We laid our brother to rest. Tommy will be missed, but most certainly never forgotten." Carl Anthony Payne II, who was seen in tears over the loss, also shared the photo, writing that it was a celebration of the man who brought so much joy to their lives. This shared grief became the unexpected catalyst for healing the old wounds. Tisha Campbell later said that Tommy's death is what brought the cast back together. At his funeral, they realized they needed to stay in touch and not let so much time go by. Shortly after, Martin reached out to Tisha to reconnect. She called that moment a part of her healing. In a later interview, she said that she and Martin worked really hard to reconnect, to forgive. The healing process was long, but it was real. It all led to a special moment that fans had been waiting for decades. On June 16, 2022, the cast reunited for Martin. The Reunion, a 90-minute special that aired on BET+. Hosted by comedian Affion Crockett, Martin, Tisha, Tichina, and Carl sat down on a recreation of the famous living room set to celebrate the show's legacy. They laughed about their favorite moments and paid an emotional tribute to their brother, Tommy Ford. During the reunion, Tisha confirmed that the past was truly in the past, saying, "Everything else is a personal situation that we've all healed from, so we're not even going to talk about it." The healing was real, and it allowed each member of the Martin family to move forward. So where are they now after surviving one of the biggest storms in sitcom history? Where the cast is today.
Look at it, look at it. Little innocent eyes.
His eyes are pink, Cole. He look like a damn alcoholic.
Martin Lawrence became a certified movie superstar. He starred in massive blockbuster franchises like Bad Boys with Will Smith and the Big Mama's House series, making him a household name around the world. His career is still going strong. In 2024, he returned to the big screen for the hit movie Bad Boys, Ride or Die. He is also serving as an executive producer on a new prequel series called Young Martin, which will follow his famous character in his younger years. On top of that, he is hitting the road for a new stand-up comedy tour in 2025 called Y'all Still Know What It Is. Tisha Campbell also continued to shine. Shortly after Martin, she landed a leading role alongside another comedy legend, Damon Wayans, in the popular sitcom My Wife and Kids, which ran for 5 seasons. She has worked consistently ever since, appearing in shows like Empire and Netflix's Uncoupled. In recent years, she has been very open with her fans about her life. She has spoken about the financial struggles she faced after her divorce and a bankruptcy case that finally closed in 2024. She also shared that she got a mommy makeover surgery in 2025. Not for anyone else, but to feel good about herself. She is also currently co-headlining a comedy tour with comedian Finesse Mitchell called the Diam Gina Tour. Tichina Arnold, who played Pam, went from being a beloved supporting character to a leading lady. From 2005 to 2009, she starred as Rochelle Rock, the hilarious and tough matriarch on the critically acclaimed sitcom Everybody Hates Chris. Today, she stars alongside comedy icon Cedric the Entertainer on the hit CBS sitcom The Neighborhood. In 2025, she even stepped behind the camera to make her directorial debut on an episode of the show. Her work continues to earn her praise, and she received another NAACP Image Award nomination for her role in 2025. Carl Anthony Payne II, the man behind Cole, has also never stopped working. He has appeared in numerous TV shows and films, including a main role on the Tyler Perry sitcom Young Dylan. Beyond acting, he has built a career as a director and producer of music videos and short films, and he continues to tour the country as a stand-up comedian. In 2024, he proudly joined his castmates on stage at the Emmy Awards for a special reunion segment. The story of the Martin cast is a powerful lesson about friendship, fame, and forgiveness. What began as a dream team of friends was torn apart by the pressures of Hollywood and a painful public conflict. For years, it seemed like their family was broken beyond repair. But in the face of a profound tragedy, they found their way back to each other, reminding everyone that the love they shared was real. Today, they have not only healed, but have all continued to build remarkable careers, proving their incredible resilience and talent.